All right, you are going to love this. We're about to dive into one of the most brilliant stories of creative problem solving I've ever heard. Seriously, this might be the most satisfying $3 anyone has ever spent. It is an absolute masterclass in turning the tables on a big company. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You're stuck on hold for what feels like an eternity, getting passed from one department to another, and you just feel like you have absolutely no power. Well, today's explainer is all about someone who was pushed into that exact corner and found a truly genius way out. So, our story starts with someone who's been banking with their small local credit union for years. No problems, everything's fine. It's the kind of relationship you don't even think about. Until, one day, a seemingly tiny little mistake kicks off an absolute nightmare. So here's what happened. Their card just stops working. They go into the branch, and a clerk, probably trying to be helpful, gives them this special code so they can still get cash. But here's the thing, and this is the crucial part. That code was for internal bank use only. It wasn't meant for customers, and using it set off all sorts of red flags in the bank's system. And this is where that small, simple error is about to spiral completely out of control. The bank's reaction wasn't just an overreaction. It became a full-blown crisis for our protagonist. Their money was effectively taken hostage. I mean, this is where it just gets unbelievable. The system flags the account, right? But instead of, investigating this single transaction, the bank decides to lock the entire account. All of it. They cut off access to every single penny. And not for a day or two, for over a month. Just imagine the frustration building. Day after day, you're making calls, you're trying to explain what happened, and you're getting absolutely nowhere. Your money is just sitting there, locked away, totally out of your reach, and it's all because of a mistake they made. And if being ignored wasn't bad enough, the customer service was just awful. They were actively hostile. Instead of getting help, they got snarky, unhelpful responses. And then, it got even worse. There was this pretty unacceptable hint of discrimination, suggesting that maybe their foreign-sounding last name was part of the problem. At that point, it's not just a bank error anymore. Now, it's personal. So, what do you do when the system is completely failing you? When no one will listen? Well, after venting to their family, a younger cousin comes up with an idea that is nothing short of pure genius. This is the moment everything changes. And really, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When a company holds all the cards, how do you possibly make them listen? You've tried calling. You can't just walk in and demand your money back. You've hit a wall. So you have to get creative. The cousin's idea was to use one of these online services. Now, you can think of it like a bot army, but with one absolutely critical difference. Every single post comes from a real person with a real active social media profile. The service pays them a tiny amount, and in exchange, they'll post whatever message you give them. And here it is, the most incredible part of this entire plan. The total cost. To unleash this social media firestorm and bring a financial institution to its knees? $3. That's it. $3. So, with the plan figured out, it was time to go on the offensive. They were about to turn their legitimate grievance into a weapon, and the bank had no idea what was coming. And just look at how simple it was. Step 1, pay the $3. Step 2, write a clear, factual complaint explaining their money was being held hostage. Step 3, aim it right at the bank's public Facebook and Twitter pages. And step 4, push the button, launch the campaign. So why was this so ridiculously effective? Well, first, it wasn't one person complaining. It was hundreds of people, all at once. Second, because they were real accounts, the bank couldn't just brush it off as a bot attack. And here's the checkmate move. The service actually let them select posters with American-looking profiles, which totally neutralized the bank's earlier prejudice. Their social media pages were just instantly buried under a flood of legitimate complaints. And the result of this little $3 campaign? Well, the bank's response wasn't just fast. It was a complete and total surrender. All of a sudden, the customer they'd been ignoring was their #1 priority. No more snarky frontline employees. Nope. They got a personal phone call directly from the call center manager, who was, as you can imagine, very, very eager to solve their problem. I mean, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Before the plan, a frozen account, being ignored, and zero progress. After the $3 plan, their account was immediately unlocked. They got an extra $50 for their trouble, a personal call from management, and an instant fix. Now that is what you call a return on investment. And here's the best part, the real cherry on top. The customer's problem was solved, but the bank was left with a permanent PR headache. They couldn't prove who launched the campaign, and they certainly couldn't contact hundreds of random people from all over the world and ask them to please delete their post. That problem is now theirs, forever. So what's the big takeaway here? It's really a story about the power of thinking outside the box when the normal channels just aren't working. For the price of a fancy coffee, this person took their power back and got exactly what they were owed. Which, of course, leaves us with one final question to think about. Was this just a clever path to justice, or was it the perfect modern-day revenge? I'll let you decide.